Hi, this is Melissia for Boxing News TV, and I'm here in Liverpool with Johnny Nelson. Johnny, this is where we first met.
I know it is. It's like all of a sudden we're back to the scene of the crime. Night's a big fight, Smith and Eggington. I'm enjoying this. I think it's a good little trade fight for the fans to get behind. And everybody can see. I think the bill's pretty good itself anyway. There's history with most of the fights, most of the fighters on there. And I always like coming to Liverpool because when there's a fight, it's a proper fight, no nonsense.
Big Scouse card, lots of Scouse fans going to be out in full force on Saturday night at the M&S Arena. We're not allowed to call it the Echo anymore, which everyone's getting confused with. Is there any fight in particular that you're really looking forward to seeing?
I am looking forward to seeing David Price against Cash Ali. David Price, I'm a fan of David Price, and unfortunately when he gets to a certain level, David Price seems to fail and fall flat. But I think on a domestic level, this is a good fight with him and Cash. Him and Cash sparred about 2 years ago. Cash has got fast hands. Cash used to train at our gym. He's got fast hands, and I thought he just needs that boost of confidence to say I can do this. And I think this is that fight. If he manages to get through his fight, I think we'll see the elevation of Cash in the heavyweight division domestically, at least. But David Price knows what's in front of him. So when he's comfortable with what's in front of him, I can't see David Price malfunctioning after 5 rounds and thinking I'm tired, I can't do anymore. That's what happens to David Price. He seems to just malfunction when the pressure's on. When he's in front of somebody he doesn't know, he knows Cash Ali. He knows what's there. I think it's going to be a good fight. I don't think it's going to go the distance, but I think it's going to be a good fight.
How many last chance saloons does David Price have, though?
Well, he's in it. He's right in it. And I think he can't lose Saturday night to Cash Ali. If he does, he's done. Because where else does he go? You know, he's basically gone down from world level, European level, British level. Now he's like, kind of like area level. He can't lose to Cash Ali, because if he does, you know, where does he go? Who does he fight? How can you justify fighting a European ranked fighter? How can you justify fighting an eliminator for the British title? So he needs to win. This is it.
If he does win, which obviously there's a lot of people out there that want him to win, where does he go from then? How quickly can he rebuild what he's lost?
He's got to do it the traditional route to build that confidence back up. So he's got to chase the British. Chase and then establish himself, get his confidence then at the British, then move on, do it that way. But I think he needs to look domestically first, stitch up the domestic situation, get that confidence back and self-belief.
Another fight a lot of people are talking about, Anthony Fowler will fight Scott Fitzgerald finally. There's been a lot of trash talk with this fight. A lot of people have said that they need to back up in the ring what they've both been talking about. Do you agree with that?
Without a doubt, you've got two fighters that are now foes that used to be friends, two fighters that used to work together in the amateurs, two fighters that have probably looked across the ring at each other and thought, why is he getting a better gig than I am? Now they're foes. Now they're in a situation where they know each other's weaknesses, they know each other's strengths, they know what buttons to press on each other. You see the social media with these guys has been a bit personal because they used to be friends, so they know enough. They know more than you and I know about them, and so that's why it's a bit more heated. This rivalry up to this point. I think Fowler has that confidence to say, you know what, I achieved a lot more than you did in the amateurs. I'm established. I'm an established fighter. And Fitzgerald's thinking, you know what, that ain't right. You know, it's not fair. You know, I actually believe I'm better than you. I should have had the same opportunities than you. And so we're going to see come Saturday night. It's got personal because they know each other personally.
Anthony Fowler has questioned Scott Fitzgerald's mental state. He said he's not been sleeping, he's been acting crazy. There was a post on Facebook where Scott Fitzgerald has said that his family made him go and get checked out due to him doing some very crazy, weird things in fight week, which we know as a fighter, fight camp can do these kind of things to fighters. Is there any way that that you would look at a fighter before a fight and question his mental state?
Yeah, you try to read a lot into looking at a fighter, how he talks, how he walks, how he eats, how he acts and everything. You try all those things and that's what you're going to try. But what you've got to remember is you've got to also say things that makes the fighter doubt himself. You've got to tell him he's scared. You've got to tell him, look, you're acting like that. Your face is red because you're nervous. You've got to get into his head. Fitzgerald will probably be obsessed with Anthony Fowler. That's why he's doing all these crazy things. He'll eat him, sleep him, dream him. That's all he thinks about is him. And so when he gets to that point and you're fighting a man at that stage, that's when he gets serious.
Do you think the fact that Anthony Fowler has stopped him in the amateurs will be playing a part in Scott Fitzgerald's head?
Yeah, without a doubt. And he's got to forget that. He's got to think to himself, I am no longer the fighter I was in the amateurs. I'm an hour pro.
Who wins in your opinion, and does it go the distance?
It doesn't go the distance. I think Fowler wins, but it'll be a hard slog fight because there's a lot of heart in it, there's a lot of emotion in it, and there's a lot of pride in it.
Liam Smith, Sam Eggington, obviously these guys know each other well, they've sparred together, etc. Do you think this is a step too far for Sam Eggington?
Not at all. These two guys have sparred many rounds together, and you hear the stories of when they sparred together, and it's competitive. It's like a paid fight, and so you know what you're capable of doing. It doesn't matter what Liam has achieved in front of the cameras. You know, when you've got somebody's number, when you've got your somebody's dance partner, no matter what happens, you're always going to pull off a good dance. And I think these two, I think it's going to be a good fight as long as it lasts. And I can see it going the distance, and it's going to be a tight fight.
Do you have anyone that you think's going to win, or are you just going to wait and see?
I like both fighters. I expect Liam Smith to win, but I like both fighters. Eggington might be able to turn back time and just say, right, I've got a good fight in me here.
Last question, because obviously we're going to get started here. On June the 1st, Anthony Joshua's fighting, and there's rumours that potentially Kell Brook's going to be on that bill.
That's nice.
I think, and a lot of other people have mentioned, do you not think Callum Smith will be more suited to that card as opposed to the Usyk card he's rumoured to be fighting on, being the WBA, WC, BC, and the Ring Card magazine?
Without a doubt, of course, there's a lot of British interest there on that card, so without a doubt, but they call this show business, and it's usually the business that messes up the show. And that's why certain fights don't happen, that's why certain fighters don't fight certain people in certain places. And so it's business, you know, and then they think it's better business putting them on another card.
Who could you see Kell Brook fighting on that bill, though?
I have no idea. Kell Brooks needs to make sure he fights somebody that takes him one step closer to fight for a world title. That's what he needs to do. That's what he needs to be looking at. He doesn't want a nonsense fight. He doesn't want just a ticking over fight. He wants a fight that's going to take him one step closer to achieving something.
Thank you very much for your time. I'll let you get back to work. Your coat's on the chair. Saved it for you. Yeah. Thanks, Johnny.
See ya.